One more outside.
This series decides whether or not they will qualify into playoffs.
I'm reloading.
I feel like one team just didn't play.
As long as we win our match, we're fine.
Our match against DSG started very important.
I did the math pretty early on, but it's something that you don't necessarily want to tell the players, like all the conditions.
Games won, map difference, round difference, and head-to-head when it can happen.
Just because if there's like a slim chance, you don't want extra pressure.
But we only needed one map to qualify for playoffs for sure.
As long as we win our match, we're fine, is usually how I blanketed it. For the first time in months. Siege, I think I've only ever won like 2 coin tosses ever in like 3.5 years. And then here, I think I've won like 1 prior at like the Tarek Invitational. If you win the coin toss, you get to choose who picks bans first. So if you're team A, you pick the first map. Your team B, you pick the second map and you get to choose the decider. If you get starting choice in map bans, you would choose team B because usually you use the first team's map as a warm-up, as well as it gives you map preference for decider. But since we just needed to win 1, I opted to pick first so we could start with a strong map.
Do you guys feel like trying today? Fuck it. Or no? I'm down.
I feel like trying today.
I mean, lately it's been me not trying, but like, if you guys want to.
I kind of want to try like a little bit.
Yeah, try on, please. 2-0 is what we need, by the way. Let's make it a 2-0, everyone. Let's go.
I always start off really strong, and then we somehow just get annihilated every single time somehow.
Corey doesn't want a 2-0. He wants to play with data. It makes sense.
I mean, he does like data.
We had a pretty bad storm a couple days ago. My neighbor had a tree uproot and it put her balcony all the way onto the floor, basically. From 11 o'clock p.m. to 8 a.m., internet was supposed to be down for the whole town. Data's about to be playing.
Some coaches want to play. Some coaches like have that itch in the back of their head, like especially if they were a former player. But like, I know my skills. I may have like a decent brain. I don't play the game enough to have mechanics. I mean, they're there, it's just not consistent.
Wait, did that just want me to do this without the infantry?
I thought it was his power, not internet at first, so I'm like, no matter what, this is gonna suck.
I was a little anxious, yes, for sure. Because it's not like there was anything I could do. Like, if I could have went to my brother's or something, I would have been down, but across town was going down as well, so I'm like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna go for myself, I guess.
I know that I'm gonna lag out in one of these fucking important rounds.
No, you won't, baby girl.
No, you won't. You won't. You'll be fine, Nick.
Yeah, I'll be fine, guys. Not like the whole city's not gonna shut down in the middle of fucking our game. All good.
I think they have good individual players, and I want them to do good. But like against us, I know that we can be much better than we already have been showing, and they've been struggling a lot at a fundamental level for sure.
DSG's playstyle leans heavily into their individual performances. I think when you have a player like Ye, that you're gonna want to elevate him and kind of let him do his thing. But they also lack a lot of the fundamentals, as Nick said. If those individual plays, if they aren't there, then like what else do you have to fall back to? For them, it's nothing. For us, we've like hounded our fundamentals.
When it came to match day, I was very confident because they didn't even know what roster they were playing with. Because I know that Gang had problems like the night before, but I don't think they knew, and I didn't know who was playing.
We're kicking things off here on Split. It's going to be DSG versus TSM on TSM's pick.
TSM. This series decides whether or not they will qualify into playoffs.
Pistol was a B pop. We were pretty confident, worked very well.
I'll peek 50 up.
Second round, got my freebies.
One more Sky.
Thank you very much.
Ooh,
Round 3, we B popped again.
Flashing grab.
I got the kill with the molly because he was full blind.
Flash in front of me.
Another 5-man look from TSM. Ye's gonna try and fight over towards B main. Teammates are gonna be taking the bait. We'll see how good he is for 1, for 2, possibly no. A trade from Camp back.
He whiffed on Gi, and then Gi gets 2 free kills. That's how it works always.
Yeah, just missed like 40 bullets on me.
It was kind of noticeable they were gonna struggle on like all fronts, so we knew we could play really, really simple, even rush things.
TSM are having no.
If it ain't broke,
Don't fix it. Yeah,
don't fix it.
Hey, they're really weak at this, and like I think we can punish this until they do something about it.
They tried to fix it and they couldn't. So it's like if you keep punishing them when they can't fix it, it just like gets more and more coping.
We can A pop, we can B pop.
And then it was essentially us building around our pre-existing plan as well as each other to kind of get it done.
Just stealing 2 kills right back.
And And that's kind of like how the whole half went, I feel like.
Nice. 9 for TSM, and they made it look easy.
I think the half could have went a little different. The one round that Ye missed, that round could have swayed if we lost that round. If you whiff on somebody, he wins the round for them. That's what we always talk about. But basically, once that round was over, the half was completely dominated by us. We knew it, so it was really free for us to just own them.
TSM taking the pistol round from DSG.
Defense, we didn't really get to play very many rounds. Our rotations were pretty well. We fought together very well.
I'll be one.
Why is no one checking Corey?
So it was kind of free.
Nice. They're trying to live, but I don't think
Nice! 13-3. TSM one step away from playoffs.
Let's go next game. Let's 2-0 these dog players, please. So I don't lag them out.
When I think of a stomp in this game, it's like a 13-7. I think economy can sway so much that like 13-7 with they're getting some alt rounds and then maybe breaking our eco a few times. I feel like 13-7 is a stomp. 13-4 is like, I feel like one team just didn't play.
Knowing their play style, it's very difficult for them to pull off what they're trying to pull off without being easily readable.
Especially when you talk about the likes of Ye, the former world #1. I think you can't even put him in contention.
I really dislike that the casters went on him so hard because it's really not his fault. I don't think it's one person's fault in the team. Like, it can't be with how they're playing.
What he needs is exactly what we gave to Corey. We'd get him like deep, and then it's just making sure that nobody's going to shoot him in the side, and then we're guaranteed to like have map control, and like quite literally can see it when he's got 25 kills. But it's not like an individual thing. It's it's not just Corey. It's the team allowing Corey to do that, and that's what Ye needs. He needs those 3 to 4 players just kind of like let him go.
Like, he will be very good on another team. He just, I feel like the very top that he was playing, like, might be hard to come back to on off chamber, to be honest.
Let's just do it again, boys. We're way better than them.
We just owned these frauds. Can we do one more so that we don't have internet problems?
Only 9 o'clock. We should be okay.
It was also like, once we knew we qualified, there was like a breath of fresh air.
Well, you know, after that game, technically we're guaranteed now, I think,
Yep,
right?
we are guaranteed.
Whoa!
But
Let's win a bind
really
game
nice.
for fun. Let's win a bind game.
But also, we knew we were playing bind, which some of our teammates really disliked.
All right, guys. 2-0 on our favorite map. Let's fucking go.
I like bind. I think our bind is decent, but we've been struggling in match on it.
The Harbour Viper comp with Gekko, like Ant was kind of hesitant. He's like, I don't really like this comp. And then the first team that we go up against is a franchise team that's running the same comp. And then like we go from those franchise teams to tend to reverse sweep in OHG's favor. And then the next team, like it's the same thing.
The way they win is by playing the map that we literally have been sucking on in a match. Like, they want to pick that map. So, any day that everybody comes in, is like, they will pick bind. The first day we knew that we were, like, of the week, we knew we were going against them, they are going to pick bind.
With this comp, it initially was our old comp on bind. Since everybody was so confident, the only thing that we were going to address was whether or not we wanted the Cypher or the Jett. But we opted to stick with the Cypher just to kind of have that like, safety net for our defenses.
Let's do this shit one more time. One more time.
It's a good song, honestly.
Yeah, it's a good song.
No, it's a good song.
It's a good banger.
It is a banger.
The Grange.
We were just on a timer, that's all. To be honest, after first round, I was just confused. I just literally ran up long, and for some reason Exalt's like in the middle of nowhere, and I just killed him with a frenzy. I feel like they were affected by first map instantly. I could kind of tell.
TSM instantly on the B side.
I'm walking in.
Oh, my ace! No, I'm sorry.
Something that we did very well is counter what they were doing very, very well. They stage wall showers like almost every single round trying to grab the orb. So I just had a freebie, then Corey got the freebie with the rocket because the guy turned on me. Crazy stuff if you like show the clip with Corey roombaying and breaking the wall and everything.
You on him.
Yeah.
Nice, Corey.
I think it was actually funny.
I'm like a fucking Chad right now, bro.
Corey's just putting them down.
Yeah, Corey's actually zoning. Keep frying, bro.
And I said this in the first map, it could not look any easier. Oh my goodness, Corey!
Oh my god, Corey.
Let's go,
Oh, yeah,
Thanos,
Corey.
let's go.
You know what I mean?
Good mood, playing well, countering them very well because they're playing very basic in my opinion.
Showers has been invaded too, and no, yay!
We're owning them, and then they kind of got a couple rounds back towards the end.
They're getting guns.
An ace for clear!
Well played to them. They kind of brought it back together a little bit.
Nice.
3 rounds in a row for Disguised! 2 away from TSM going into the half.
7-5 was one of our better attacks, even though the score line's very close. The way we played a lot of the early rounds were exactly like what we want to play always.
If you get a 7-5 on attack, you're expecting it to be pretty close on the other side because it is a very heavily attacker-sided map.
Yeah, he's blind.
Go, peeking. One more close left. One more close left. I'm no blitz. Nice!
Our composition allowed us to clean it up though. Like being able to work with Astra or Omen, being able to have the Cypher trips helps a lot for being able to control the map.
We're kind of owning these people on every gunfight. If we're not, it's because we're overextending or overheating a lot of the time.
Once you get close.
Hit 70.
And this is where we bamboozled ourselves round. As Eric's TP, I'm like, don't TP, there's a guy in there.
I'm TP. Oh my god.
Sorry, I just
So he kind of looked like a doofus.
heard it last
Three there.
I'm dead to Molly.
I died to a molly, so I'm also a doofus.
They're starting to catch on that we were just looking to push, so I'm expecting that they're going to start holding a bit more. So I think for a couple rounds, I want us to pull back a little bit. We were taking map control like we wanted, but we kind of needed to back up and like make sure that we were keeping our fundamentals as well as like changing the tempo.
We went to a passive setup, and then they kind of just ran right into us.
I stunned him.
I think it's being
Dead. One down. Okay, you guys play
Nice!
Nice, guys.
Nice,
Let's go.
good job.
I'm dead.
No!
So it was good to see us be able to do a bit of both, to be able to make plays, but also kind of have that structure to make sure that they were limited on the plays that they could make as well.
Nerve versus GMD.
Oh, you won. Good shit.
GMD has him in the palm of his hands.
Nervous,
To
shaking his boots.
perfection.
He's so nervous. He's actually so nervous.
DSG are walking into a stronghold.
Whoa, 2 players still have to cross it, and GMD getting a huge headshot. A symphony of frags for TSM as they're 1 away from playoffs.
If we don't win this round, I have to pause. I'm logging out.
I have a shower already.
Sky harbour.
Alright, mom. Hold this motherfucker wall down.
Nice!
GG, guys.
Boys, we got our next scrim is in 10.
Alright, sounds good.
Oh god.
Won the series and secured Challengers playoffs.
Thankfully, there was no effect from the internet. I was kind of uncomfortable the whole BO3, but thankfully we owned them.
It felt like a scrim as far as like there wasn't like tension.
GG's, if anyone a fucking game.
Ocean did an interview before our game, and he said, it feels terrible to lose for 2 months. It doesn't feel any better to lose for 3 weeks, let me tell you. Like, losing 3 weeks in a row feels just as bad. So, no matter, like, how good or bad a team is, depending on people's opinions of DSG, it feels good to end with a win on the season going into playoffs.
All of the changes, all of the design, all of the practices intended not for the split at the given moment. Like, the split doesn't matter. What matters is the goal at the end and the growth to grow beyond that goal.
There are things that are in your control and there's things that are out of your control, and I feel like this is what probably the top 10 teams in the game and all of Challengers has to work on still.
We finally got the players fully invested in the project. Like, it's no longer just like trying to make things work. It's like they're starting to, I'm starting to see sparks of like realization that like this is how we should have been playing. This is how a team should play.
When it came down to rounds breaking down, we were more like individually like locked to ourselves, and we were trying to play in a much better way this split. We've grown a lot of as a team, but if we can keep it consistent, we'll be good.
We just have to make sure that we keep the same pressure and that like we keep growing, because like you can take a few steps back, you can stumble, but like when you get to playoffs, you get one opportunity and then you're down in the lowers, and then there's no exception. There's no like leniency. There's no like, you can't have a permabanned map. You can't have a player that's not performing well. You can't have fundamental mistakes. So I mean, it's really gonna be a recap on whether or not we met those expectations and we were able to keep them.
Our first matchup versus Moist Moguls.
I think the seeding is fine for us.
We want a rematch, so Corey's gonna go off.
No matter what, you should be willing and able to beat any opponent that you get.
Corey's about to drop 55 on these guys.
Bro, why do I only get one bunny, bro? It's just fucking balls.
One bunny.
Yeah, I only get one bunny. Like the gun buddy. Like one bunny gun buddy. You know the one I'm talking about, Data? The one that blows up when you shoot it.
Yeah. One gun bunny.
Anthony, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling okay.
I don't care.